Good evening and welcome to Emergency Management. I am Yomi Owope. Now, granting succor to victims of disasters through the distribution of relief materials is one of the fundamental ways in which the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, discharges its core mandates. The provision of relief is usually aimed at helping the victims of disasters to meet some of their basic needs, particularly in the immediate aftermath of their unfortunate experiences, and to mitigate the attendant trauma and stress associated with the incidents that they were victims of. In demonstration of its commitment to discharging this crucial element of its core mandates efficiently, NEMA has been going around the country lately to distribute relief materials to victims of various disasters. Emergency management witnessed the relief distribution missions undertaken by NEMA recently, and the first segment of this edition of the program brings you highlights of the exercise. Take a look at this.
For anyone familiar with some of the emergency situations and disasters witnessed in the country of late, particularly those triggered by security challenges, flooding and fire incidents, two states in the northeastern geopolitical zone of the country, Borno and Yobe, are without doubt key reference points of that trend. It was no surprise that these two states were among those visited recently by a delegation of the management of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to present relief materials to victims of disasters. One of the major challenges faced by most nations engaged in international trade today is the alarming upsurge in illicit trade practices and the resulting adverse impact of the phenomenon on almost all key facets of life in the countries that experience the trend. The defining features of illicit trade are the supply, distribution, and sale of smuggled, counterfeit, and substandard goods on which applicable duties and taxes were not paid upon their entry into the country, where they end up being sold to consumers. Such contraband enter end-user countries through either legitimate channels like designated seaports and land borders, or illegal trade routes such as footpaths, bush tracks, creeks, and rivers adjoining national boundary areas. One of the cutting-edge skills that define the effectiveness of an army is sharp marksmanship. This is measured by the ability of its troops, soldiers and officers alike, particularly those trained in combat roles, to shoot with precision. Indeed, sharp shooting not only enhances the chances of an army in achieving both success and victory in its various operations, but also that it does so in good time.
feel heaven in this place. And that's the sign of a victory. That's a sign of a victory. That's the sign of a victory.
Given his track record of outstanding achievements in his first term in office, Senator Liel Imoke was certainly not the underdog as he sought the people's mandate for a second term of office. His immense popularity with the people of Cross River State had no doubt conferred on him the status of a front-runner candidate. But candidate Senator Imoke chose to be a front-runner with a difference. Rather than being complacent and rely solely on the intimidating credentials he had built through his widely acknowledged impressive performance in office during his first term, Senator Imoke opted to run a robust campaign in his quest for a second term of office.
A tanker lifts crude oil from the loading terminal of the NNPC Chevron joint venture somewhere in the western area of the Niger Delta in Nigeria. The joint venture is operated by Chevron Nigeria Limited. Much as its core business is the production of crude oil, Chevron has also made giant strides in harnessing Nigeria's natural gas resources. In 1997, the NNPC Chevron joint venture made history when Nigeria's first associated gas utilization project, the Escravos Gas Project EGP, which is executed, came on stream. Phase 2 of the project has also been successfully executed. In addition to providing job opportunities for Nigerians, the execution of phases 1 and 2 of the EGP has reduced gas flaring in Chevron's areas of operations. This has made the environment in which the company operates cleaner. To underscore Chevron's commitment to the complete elimination of gas flares in its areas of operation, as well as its support for the federal government's resolve to turn gas into another major foreign exchange earner, the company has embarked on the execution of Phase 3 of the EGP. This phase is being executed alongside another gas venture, the Escravos Gas to Liquids Project, EGTL. A colorful ceremony in New York on September 8, 2000 marked the official commencement of the project.
The emergence and effective deployment of highly ingenious approaches in the conduct of military operations, particularly as witnessed during some historic wars fought in the twilight of the last century, and during past and recent military intervention initiatives led by multilateral organizations, have revealed a paradigm shift in the erstwhile standard procedure for conducting military operations in the contemporary era. A key feature of this development is the emphasis now placed on joint approach to conducting military operations.
In the maiden episode of this series designed to update you on the proposed amendments to the Central Bank of Nigeria Act 2007, which was aired on the last edition of the program, Viewers were apprised with a summary of the presentation made by the CBN on Monday, October 22, 2012, at the second public hearing of the House of Representatives Committee on Banking and Currency and Justice on the matter. Good evening. My name is Jonathan Hansen, and welcome to You and the Economy. The CBN presentation at the public hearing of October 22nd advanced reasons why the CBN Act 2007 should not be tampered with, as it would amount to curtailing the autonomy of the Apex Bank, a development it noted would hamper the ability of the CBN to discharge its core mandates efficiently, and which it said would ultimately have severe adverse impact on the Nigerian economy. In this edition of You and the Economy, we shall examine the reactions of some of the stakeholders who spoke at the public hearing to the arguments advanced by the CBN against those key provisions of the bill to amend the CBN Act 2007, particularly those that seek to revise the current composition of its board and some of its existing corporate governance practices. The CBN's response to the counter-arguments advanced by some House members shall also be reviewed. Here it is. Happy viewing.
What you see is real. These are happy crowds of ordinary Nigerians showing their affection for President Olusegun Obasanjo. For these Nigerians from across ethnic groups and walks of life, President Obasanjo is a leader in whom they are pleased.
This sprawling complex, sitting on an expanse of lush greenery, fresh grass and bright flowers, and wrapped by the serene ambience of a countryside landscape, could pass easily for one of Nigeria's famous holiday resorts and tour destinations. Perhaps a place to commune restfully with nature and its elements, or even a prized destination for people seeking an escape from the stress and rigors of work and the pressures of life generally. But it is far from all these. Rather, this expansive mass of real estate is home to the Nigerian Defense Academy, an institution where the officers are commissioned into the three services of the respective services of the Nigerian Armed Forces of their choice, namely the Army, Navy, and Air Force, are trained.